What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Left Lane Chronicles, where we bring you the stories behind the riders, creators, and adventurers who live 1 mile at a time. Tonight's guest is someone who's built a reputation for doing things her way. She's a content creator, a motorcycle enthusiast, and a rider who's not afraid to cross state lines in pursuit of adventure. Whether she's documenting her travels, sharing her riding experiences, or inspiring others to get out and explore, she's proven that the journey is just as important as the destination. Please help me welcome the one and only Motozoombie.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that intro. Thank you so much. I'm very glad to be here. So thank you for the invitation.
Hey, it's good to have you here. Um, we met at uh, Unleash the Peace 3. We spoke, you let me know your story, and just hearing about it made me want to get you on here to tell it for yourself, and that way everyone can know the woman behind the helmet. So,
Again, thank you.
so to get started, tell us about yourself. Who is Moto Zombie outside of YouTube?
All right. A good question. So I am I'm not your traditional grandmother. I am a yaya. So I have four grandchildren. I work in IT or technical support as my day job. I enjoy, with the Moto Zombie, I enjoy watching zombie movies. A big fan, huge fan of The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, and most zombie things. Um, I enjoy my free time, relaxing. Um, a little. I have the 3D printer, so I kind of do a few little crafts with that. Just trying to broaden my horizons and give myself a few more activities outside of motorcycling. But other than that, I host a podcast as well. I enjoy having conversations with individuals that are conversations where I learn. I have an opportunity to get to meet new and interesting people, share our experiences, our accounts, our journeys in this thing that we call life. But other than that, you pretty much so get what you see with me.
Okay, and I'm assuming that's how you got the name Moto Zombie because of your love for zombie movies.
Exactly, exactly. Combining the two, yes.
I feel like that's pretty cool. So, what was like that one thing or the first thing that sparked your interest in motorcycles?
And motorcycles, honestly, you know what? Motorcycles were never in my purview. Clearly, you grow up in the neighborhood and you might see a couple of people riding motorcycles. Saw a lot of the older gentlemen in my neighborhood who drove. And at the time, I had no idea brands and companies, they ride the motorcycles. Now that I know that they are either Harleys or Gold Wings. Of course, the younger guys, sports bikes, dirt bikes, and things of that nature. But as far as how I became introduced, it was 2024. In all honesty, I went to a Honda dealership and I was looking at side by sides. And while I was there, of course, they had motorcycles there. Um, and I ended up being convinced to buy a 2025 Honda ADV 160 scooter. Um, and that pretty much so started my introduction into riding motorcycles myself personally. One of my older brothers had a motorcycle. I got on his once when I was a teenager, and that completely scared me because it's a sports bike. So I just, there was nothing that caused me to have an interest. It was just one of those spur of the moment things. And like I said, I came home with that ADV 160, and that was my gateway.
Okay. And before we continue, I want to give a shout out to Gail's Moto for tuning in tonight.
Hey, Gail
Um,
Moto.
can you see the comments at the bottom?
I can. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate your support.
So it started off with a scooter, which I feel like that. that kind of starts it off for a lot of people. Because a lot of people start off with like the little crotch rockets back when we were kids, dirt bikes or scooters. So I can see how that right there can inspire you to want to push further up and up the ride. So
Right.
do you remember your very first ride and what was that experience like?
So, my very first ride was really just kind of around the neighborhood because, again, me being a newbie, I didn't have any. I literally had never been on a any type of motorcycle, scooter or otherwise. So it was me just kind of familiarizing myself with this scooter. Learning and respecting the speed, the weight, and learning how to navigate and just getting comfortable with, rode a bicycle. So just balancing, this thing with an engine. So really my first ride on that was just kind of around the block and in the neighborhood.
Okay. Yeah, I used to have a red um gas scooter when I was a kid. My grandfather had got it for me for Christmas. And that right there was started for me. And then I would ride my friends crotch rockets around the neighborhood as well. So it was pretty cool. And that's what pretty much got me into that along with other outside factors as well. Um
Right.
so like what was the moment that you knew riding would become a major part of your life?
Oh man. You know, um, I had the ADV 160, I want to say about 5 or 6 months, and I took it in for its first maintenance. And the sales team saw me coming. So they basically were like, hey, we got something for you. And that something ended up being my 2022 Honda Rebel 1100, and it is the DCT version of that. And purchasing that Honda Rebel, and again, it was a matter of respecting. I mean, going from a scooter to an actual motorcycle is a huge jump. And in the realm of CCs, I jumped to an 1100. So Rebel, they have the 300 and the 500, and then the 1100 is in that family. So I kind of took a very huge jump. But what kind of got me hooked was moving beyond my neighborhood and putting my fears to the side and learning how to ride on the freeway. That was a very huge fear of mine, because again, I was still a newbie, and just not being completely sure or certain of myself, and riding along the freeway with all those trucks and cars at those speed limits. But the first time that I actually successfully did it, I actually have a video of me conquering that particular fear. Um, just the freedom, you feel a sense of freedom, you feel a sense of focus. At the time, it's really just a freeing activity,
Yeah.
and it's grounding. It's just you, the bike, and the elements. And you're putting so much focus on making certain that you are paying attention to what you're doing, and everything else kind of goes, to the wayside. And
Yeah.
you become one with that machine, and you gain a sense of respect and accomplishment. And it's just you being one with the elements and the world, the speed, and you kind of feel like you have control over a little bit of something. So I think that's what really kind of helped me gain um a desire to try to want to be better, and go further.
Yeah. I can agree with that. Um so like speaking of going further, let's talk about, you know, what inspired you to start creating content on YouTube?
Well, being a newbie, there's a lot of YouTubers that I actually watched. They were showing their journeys. So a lot of them would be, I watched, of course, Kelly B Gliding. I watched Her Two Wheels. As a matter of fact, I want to kind of give a shout out to Her Two Wheels because she did a raffle for where she was giving away the Harley Davidson Riding Academy course. And I was selected. So she's the reason I was able to go to the Harley Davidson Riding Academy and get my motorcycle endorsement. So watching people like Her Two Wheels, Slappy's Adventure, and I don't want to forget anybody. But there are so many contributions. A lot of the women riders are watching them in their journey, and these women I have been so encouraged by. I'm so enamored by these women who are going out and they are riding their motorcycles cross country. And these women come from all walks of life. They're riding big bikes, they're riding sports bikes, cruisers, touring bikes, you name it. These women are out here, as they say, ground pounding. And a lot of them are what made me kind of get out of my comfort zone. And I'm a little shy because I don't really do the camera, so I kind of stay behind the scenes. And but I think other people getting out there showing their journey is what helped me feel a little bit more comfortable about showing mine. And in addition, because of what they did in discussing safety, discussing riding your ride, um, and being you, doing what you feel is necessary for you to make that ride, your journey, more comfortable for yourself. I think that those examples are what helped me want to try to share my experience and I mean, I don't have skin in the game. It hasn't been in there long. So, like I said, I just started in 2024, but it's very refreshing to see other new riders, them tell um, how they got started and watching their ups and their downs because, this isn't a perfect, there's nothing polished about riding motorcycles.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a roughness to it. So I appreciate that, and I'm grateful to individuals who utilize YouTube and Instagram and Facebook to help people like myself.
And we actually have a video here of you riding and rolling. I'm gonna play it right quick.
All right.
So when when you see your videos like that, and you know that people are actually watching and they're enjoying the content, um, how does it make you feel when you look back on it now?
Well, I can definitely see that I've come a long way. I still have a long way to go. Um, it's still kind of surreal just seeing myself being on the TV or seeing other people say, "Hey, I caught your video," that they liked it. It's really just kind of it's humbling, um, and at the same time, it's kind of like this out of body experience because I'm just a regular person who found a motorcycle, and a motorcycle found me, and I'm still learning. So I still see myself as a beginner. Um, so I guess it's really just kind of this. It's unreal in a certain sense, and I'm not necessarily doing it to, of course, be famous or to be well known. I'm really just kind of documenting for myself and my own prosperity. I have three young adult daughters, and I mentioned I have the four grandchildren, and I kind of want to be able to let them see other sides of myself as well. And I think that this me posting those videos kind of helps me and others get to see again another side of me. And then my daughters and my grandchildren, they've got something to look at. And I will have to say that a good portion of the views that I have are from my grandchildren.
Yeah. Mhm. So, what would you say were challenges that you faced when starting your channel?
Oh man, one, not being consistent. I work a full-time job, and it's really kind of hard to manage all of this. It's a lot keeping up, keeping the posting going, and making the videos a length that people will actually tune into from start to finish, finding the content, and also just understanding social media. Now, I'm technical, but when it comes to like social media, that's a whole nother animal. So also understanding that and making certain that you're posting on as many social sites as possible. To be perfectly honest, I prefer a team. I want to be one of those people that says my team handles this. So I think the main thing probably with me is consistency. I'd love for my content to be reaching a wider audience. I believe I have a lot to share, and I believe I can definitely help someone else out through their journey, even if their journey isn't really riding motorcycles. Sometimes we take in content or we consume content, and it's not about necessarily the task that the person is doing, and we're inspired to do it or follow in their steps. There are occasions where you're just watching someone's content because that person gives you joy. You enjoy seeing what they're experiencing, and you're learning. You could possibly just be learning and being introduced to something that you never knew existed. So I really just kind of want to make certain that the content that I am producing and putting out there in the ethos, it's positive, it's uplifting, it's encouraging, definitely entertaining. Um, but if nothing else, it puts a smile on someone's face.
I agree. I agree with everything you said 100%. Um, Being consistent, I can say myself, I'm not consistent with videos because it's like you said, trying to find the content that people want to see. But shout out to Kelly B because he has said before that everything is content. So no matter what you do, you know what I'm saying, it could be content. And I feel like I watch people like Rob Nation with Sensei,
Yeah.
and this man puts out videos, you know, like back to back to back to back,
Right.
and his stuff is just everyday stuff. It's not may not always be riding videos, but it could be repairs, it could be doing yard work or like housework or something like that. So he kind of incorporates his daily life into his craft, and that right there also motivates me to actually want to get out and do the same and
Right.
incorporate my day to day. So just remember that everything can be content, no matter what it is, even if it's just you riding to the store or you driving to the store or whatever the case may be. Going on a vacation. Um, I've seen Panther Worldwide. I've seen him do his birthday trip to Puerto Rico, and that right there was content. So, um, never think that you don't have content because there's everything is content.
Understood.
Um,
Yes.
so like how do you feel your content has evolved since the beginning?
I don't know. It's kind of hard. Well, I'll speak for myself. It's kind of hard to determine if there's any growth. I mean, the obvious is watching my earlier videos. I started out with a cheaper camera. You can see the quality definitely has changed. But uh, I can't say that I've gotten to a point to where I'm improving on the production or the way my content is received, if you will. I think I'm still in this growth and learning stage right now. I think is the best way to answer that question.
Okay. So I guess then that goes to your motivation. What motivates you to keep creating the videos?
You know, the motivation that inspires me is I did not know that there was a community of Black writers. I was introduced to this world and this community by chance. I went to a motorcycle rally or event. The very first one that I went to was in Fort Worth at the Indian Motorcycle dealership. It was RN Divas and Porsche with Black Girls Ride. They were putting on an event, and I don't even remember how I heard about it, but again, that was back when I was learning and getting comfortable with riding on the freeway. I'm like, oh, I know where that dealership is. And so I said, let me ride up there. And that was my very first time attending an event. And again, I met all of these women, these ladies riding these bikes bigger than mine. And again, they came from all walks of life. They all, they look cool, actually. So I think my motivation is I want to be a part of that and I want to be able to tell that story. I'm not real comfortable with riding in group rides right now. And again, that's just me becoming a better, more comfortable rider and more confident within myself and my ability. But I want to be able to tell stories like those ladies. They're doing group rides or they're doing solo rides. I met so many women who they're solo riders. They don't belong to any clubs. They go when they want to. And they stay as long as they want to, and they're actually exploring. They're getting to experience this world on twos, on threes, and they're making their own rules. So what I'd like to do is be able to be a part of that club. If I say I'm a part of a club, I just want to be a part of the club where there's no boundaries for you as an individual. You're constantly challenging yourself. You're meeting new people, learning new things, because this out motorcycling is not the safest hobby to have.
Yeah,
But neither is flying planes. So or being a sailor. So we take on these things, and I think what helps me to be motivated is just at some point the growth in my channel, hopefully within myself and the individuals who watch, whether they're watching now or they become subscribers in the future, they can see my growth from when I started and see me, from my first real long road trip was to Slidell, Louisiana. So hopefully they can see a pattern of growth and me not stopping and me continuing to cross those state lines and giving them a little bit more confidence themselves and content.
agreed. So speaking of like your first long trip, would you say that is one of your most memorable experiences that you caught on camera?
I would say that. Yeah. Although I missed a lot on camera, I didn't get to capture it per se. You know what? This is what I will say. I don't think everything is for the camera. Although I wish there were some pictures with certain individuals that I could have had, for prosperity or for proof.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I think what I did learn, and that was by far my longest trip. And it had its ups and downs, and I took that trip. Actually, it's because of Gail's moto that I was actually able to partake in that Unleash the Peace 3. And I'm grateful that she invited me and she shared her space with me. Otherwise, I would be sitting here and watching everybody else's videos like I did, the previous 2 years. So um, that was a long journey because that tested me as a rider. It tested my abilities, and again, I'm new, so there's not a whole lot I know. Learning how to pack, learning what to pack. We ran into some torrential rain, on that route. And I'm going to tell you right now, when you're riding the motorcycle and you're dealing with inclement weather, that's going to make or break you. You can't give your energy to panicking, because if the minute you panic, that's the minute you're going to make a huge mistake, and it could be fatal. um, or it could be a mistake that cripples you and your ability to try to get back up and go again. But we ran into some inclement weather, we ran into so much rain. But at the same time, the minute we pulled into the host hotel pocket parking lot, and we saw all those motorcyclists there out there. They're out there in the rain too, hanging out. And some of them went through the same thing that we went through. But that did not keep them from enjoying themselves. It didn't keep them from making that event. Although, you know as well, a lot of what GQ had planned, because of the weather, we couldn't do it. But everybody still made it a party. You know, they didn't let the rain damper your mood. No attitudes. We didn't, as far as I could tell, I didn't see any fights. It was a great experience. It was a great experience, just because, if nothing else, that tested me. That let me know whether or not, and I'm baby, let me tell you something. That Honda Rebel is a good bike. But that Honda Rebel, I will never take another long distance trip on that one. Jamila has to upgrade. So I definitely want to go from the cruiser to a touring bike, something that's more designed and intended for that type of travel. So that is my next goal.
So now that so basically now that you done put some serious miles down crossing state lines, there will be more of you crossing state lines in the future.
Man, yes, I've got the bug, man. I've got the bug, and I see why people are doing it. I definitely see. I understand that preparation is key. In preparation for any and everything that happens. Like, I watch Fire and Ice, and I'm going to tell you something. I am also motivated, and thankfully, I got the opportunity to meet some of the people that I've been watching on YouTube and their channels. And I definitely want to send a shout out to Fire and Ice. They were just as amazing watching in the video as are in person. I really enjoyed seeing them. Boots and Jeans, Cake and Rich. It was amazing getting to see them, and a lot of the other couples. Because the thing with our community, we don't see a lot of positivity amongst Black couples. And for couples like those two, and I know that there are more, but those are just the ones on the top of my mind. I want to send them continued success because in a marriage,
I
marriage
want
is
to
hard.
see them continue success because
But to be able to see a husband and a wife be able to share a activity like motorcycling together, and they're taking trips together, long distance trips together, and they are really and truly functioning as a team, as a unit, as a network, and putting, you see the smiles on their face and the fact that they are working together and they're watching out for each other. They're watching each other's 10 or their 6, as they say in the military. Um, that's what I look for in within our community, because there's so much negativity now surrounding us. We are being targeted. We have been, but we're definitely being targeted in a manner to where they're outsiders are shown or are trying to sow discord within our community. And that's why I love this community, and I'm so glad that I was introduced to it, because now I'm seeing in real time that the Black community is strong, and we're doing things that people say we don't do. We're not welcome to do. We shouldn't be doing, but we're doing it, and we're doing it with a smile, despite what the outside world is trying to sell. So that's what I'm appreciating, and that's what puts a smile on my face, and that is the encouragement that I need to not let those outside voices discourage me in my journey, in the story that I have to tell. And so that's what I do appreciate, just the confidence, the willingness, and the fact that you're not going to stop me from living.
yeah. And speaking of community, um, what has your experience been like as a female rider in the motorcycle community?
My experience, I have not had a negative experience to at all. The women that I have met have welcomed me with open arms. As I stated, it's been very refreshing to see all of these women who are, man, I'm telling you, these women have been so inspirational. Man, they riding these big bikes. I'm seeing big girls like myself. I'm seeing little women. I'm seeing tall women, short women. Um, man, it's really an eye-opening experience, because of all the things in the world, these ladies chose riding motorcycles. And again, whether it's two wheels or three wheels, these ladies are using their energy, their willpower, um, their confidence, their strength, their focus, and they are ground pounding, and they are encouraging other women. They are teaching things, hard lessons that they've learned. They are paying it forward, or trying to help those of us who are aspiring riders, um, to better ourselves. So I've been welcomed into the lady riding community with open arms. Um, I hope that never changes. Because I honestly don't want to have to experience anything bad. Um, but I mean, I guess even if I do, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. So, but at this stage, I'm very empowered. I feel empowered. I feel encouraged by all of these ladies who are going out here, and they are, again, whether they are part of motorcycle clubs, or if they're solo riders, casual riders. I want to, like I said, I want to put my name down on that list as well, and hopefully inspire someone else to do whatever it is, that they've been kind of standoffish about doing.
So, being inspiring, what advice would you give women who are considering getting their motorcycle endorsement?
I would say get your affairs in order. Um, I would say definitely take the motorcycle safety course. Um, I think it's very, very important for you to learn the seriousness about motorcycles. And it doesn't matter what brand, what type of motorcycle you ride. I think it's important to be get educated. Um, and I think it's also important to wear your gear, um, because again, this is something, that is comes with a sense, with a level of harm or threat to you, being on these things. So I think you definitely need to budget for some good safety gear. Always wear your helmet. Always wear your helmet, even if it's that quick trip around the block or to the store, because anything can happen. I feel like you need to find your community, find one or two ladies, hopefully, that have the time to help educate you, who are willing to train you, not pressure you into riding fast, riding long, or doing anything that is out of your comfort zone. But hopefully you can find individuals who are teachers, and who will help you along your journey safely and securely. And lastly, have fun. I have to say, you don't ever want to do anything that, especially when it comes to a hobby, you don't want your hobby to feel like a chore. You don't want it to feel like work. Um, because in my personal life, the reason why I'm riding my motorcycle is because it's giving me a break from everything else that's going on in my life. I'm not a yoga girly. I don't hit the gym. I'm not a musician. I enjoy listening to music. But everybody needs an outlet. And if motorcycling is that outlet, you definitely want to make certain that it's not a chore. And the reason why is because it's not enjoyable. You won't ride. That bike is going to sit in your yard, in the garage, collect dust, and it's an investment. You're spending money on this thing. So you definitely want to make certain you're involving yourself in activities, at least trying to ride, finding time to ride. Um, and that helps you stay safe too. It definitely helps you stay safe and stay focused, and while you're having fun.
Yeah. And we got J Dot from Morgan Lanes. He's in here. He said riding has definitely been his outlet as well.
Hey, J Dot, good to see you. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. All of you.
So speaking of the fact that J Dot popped in as well, I guess I can ask you, how has YouTube connected you with riders around the country?
Oh man. YouTube is it's amazing tool. So um you know what? Like I said, my channel, I don't have a lot of subscribers on it at all. So it has been like the fact that people have found me. It's like that needle in the haystack or the diamond in the rough kind of. And I'm so excited when I hear, "Oh, I watched your channel," or if I get comments, I'm so excited about the comments. So um I have met, I did get on my podcast. My podcast is called End User Talk. So I was doing my podcast before I did the motorcycle channel. And thought, I said, you know what? I like to talk. And I'd love to be able to have an opportunity to meet some of the people who are in the motorcycle world and see if they would like to, talk with me on my podcast. So I started the um, series for Motozoombie and the writer's POV. And my first actual guest was Georgia Biker Life Scooter. So, and I met, of course, J Dot through Scooter because they're brothers. So I was able to meet them, and Scooter introduced me to Gail's Moto. So It's been really, really cool to be able to again have people reach out to me or me reach out to them, and they accept the invitation, or we become cordial. Not necessarily have met yet, but we become cordial, and we've been able to keep in touch, as a result of that. So I've really enjoyed what YouTube and the motorcycle community has been able to present to me, and that olive branch, if you will, in being able to meet some other great, amazing people and to be able to attend some of these motorcycle events. I mean, look, I met you, so that was cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a good feeling when you meet people that actually like enjoy your content. They watch your content. They follow you.
Yeah,
It can be weird at first because like you said, you that needle in the haystack. You don't know if people are like people are watching, but you just don't know how they feel about the content until you actually meet them.
exactly. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I guess that takes us to what's your favorite part about meeting subscribers and fellow riders in person?
Oh man, I guess the main thing would be is physically meeting someone who came across your content, and they actually know you, and putting a face to a screen name or to a comment. um I think that is the most exciting thing, is just because, like I said, I mean, my channel's small. I don't have a lot of followers. I don't have a lot of content. So to have someone acknowledge me, or I'm able to meet that someone and they say, "Hey, I know you. I've seen your stuff." I mean, it all I feel a sense of I- pride and excitement, and like, wow, they actually see me. So I feel seen. I think that's the best way to say that. I actually feel seen, and I feel good about it. And yeah, I'm hoping, that it will. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I do hope that, it'll afford me, just this whole experience will afford me new opportunities and growth, development, and maybe some more, extended family.
So, what does what with that being said, what does the motorcycle community mean to you?
The motorcycle community means having like minded individuals participating in an activity that brings you personal joy, that opens up a world of possibilities, experiences, journeys. It broadens a horizon. It broadens a horizon, and it challenges you, no pun intended, but to go the distance, in just your own personal life or my own personal life, and then also going the distance on those two wheels, if that's what you choose to ride on those two wheels. And it's a personal challenge because you're setting out a plan and you're mapping out a plan and saying, I'm going to go do this. And then when you make it to the other end and you get to snap that photo in front of that mile marker, or in front of that welcome to this place, you can look back at yourself and say, I did that. The other appreciation about the community is, again, you're with like-minded people. You have people there who understand what you're going through, who understand why you ride, and you're learning from a group of individuals who are there to help educate you and help you be a better rider. And overall, you become a better person. I think it builds character, and I think it's humbling, but it's also rewarding in the same note. So being a part of this community, and again, being amongst people who look like me, um, it's fulfilling, and I look forward to being able to meet more people and have more friendships, and who knows, more people to go visit. Give me a reason to get out of, out of my hometown.
Yeah. Gil's motto says, in the words of Rich from Boots and Jeans, he said, "Life is too long not to do something, and this life is our something."
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with that too. It's a great saying.
I agree with that.
So, I hope you're ready. I got some rapid fire questions for you.
Okay.
All right. First question: dream motorcycle.
Honda Gold Wing DCT.
Okay. Go Wings. You watching Kelly be gliding.
Yep. Kelly, Slappy, the Sonian, a lot of people.
um, what would you say?
DCT.
Mountains or coastline?
Say that one more time.
Mountains or coastline?
Ooh. Um, I'd say coastline.
Okay, okay. Sun ride or night rides? Sunrise ride or night rides?
Oh man. Okay. You know what? I'd say sunrise.
Sunrise.
Sunrise. Yeah, I'll say that.
What is your favorite motorcycle event?
Right now, what I've been to is Unleash the Peace. So I'm gonna say Unleash the Peace right now.
All right. GoPro or Insta 360?
Insta 360.
Most miles ridden in one day. Most miles ridden in one day.
Do I say how many miles or where? Location.
Most miles.
Um, I want to say 300 miles.
Um, one state every rider should visit.
Ooh, you know what? That's a bad question because I haven't been anywhere. I would have to say for scenery, um, maybe California or Atlanta,
Okay.
scenery wise.
Favorite road snack or trip snack?
Beef jerky.
All right. One word that describes Motozoombie.
Um, uh, um, eye opening,
That's not one word.
resilient.
We got some comments. Um, just be prepared for Atlanta traffic.
Yeah.
And J says authentic for you.
Oh, thank you. I like authentic.
So let's talk about what's next. What projects are you currently working on?
Um, right now, I'm working on upgrading from the Rebel to a touring motorcycle. So I'm gonna need as many likes, comments, subscribers. No, yeah. Right now. I am currently working on upgrading my motorcycle because I need a touring bike. I need something that is equipped to help me be a better ground pounder and bring you guys better content because look, I want to go down with some of the greats like Tiffany Renee and all of these people, these other women. But yeah, working on upgrading.
Okay. Any major rides or adventures planned for the future?
No, no, I don't have anything pinpointed yet. No, but definitely something long distance. Maybe Atlanta, honestly.
Well, if you
I
want my,
gotta.
I got to meet and greet July 11th.
What is that one?
July 11th, my meet and greet at the Hartford Harley Davidson up here in Connecticut.
In Connecticut. Okay, July 11th. Woo, that's right around the corner. That means I got to get my bike quick.
So, what goals do you have for the for your channel over the next year?
Um, my goals would be I want to make better content, maybe some more long form content. I definitely need to add a few more trips in order to be able to offer that. Maybe like we discussed, content is content, so maybe not limited to just the motorcycling. Like I said, I do a little 3D printing, so maybe things for that. My goal with that is to make things for motorcyclists using my 3D printer for like-minded motorcyclists to make their journeys or meet and greets, be able to pass some custom items out to their fans and what have you. Being more consistent. I definitely need to figure out how I can be more consistent, um, and maybe show my face a little bit more. Who knows? Who knows?
J Dot said, "Come on down to Atlanta. Let him know when you're on your way."
Oh, definitely. Because I believe I already told you all I got to go out to The Walking Dead where they were doing all of that, and to see all those where they shot that, and any other um, tourist spots out there.
And talk about some 3D printing. We might have to talk about some stuff.
Please,
Might
I
have,
need. Yeah, I'm open to learn. So yeah, I'm definitely.
so, where can viewers find and follow your journey?
Well, you can find me on Facebook. Everywhere. It's either if you're following the motorcycle channel or motorcycle journey, you can find me at Motozoombie on Facebook, Instagram, and on my YouTube channel. If you want to listen to my podcast, In User Talk, on YouTube. So and also on Instagram. So either at Motozoombie, and there is a playlist for the Motozoombie Riders POV on my Motozoombie channel. Otherwise, like I said, you can check out the podcast at End User Talk.
Okay. Well, Motozoombie, thank you for sharing your story and taking us behind the scenes of your riding journey. It's always inspiring to hear from riders who aren't afraid to chase adventure, rack up the miles, and bring their audience along for the ride. To everyone watching and listening, make sure to go check out Motozoomie's channel, show some love, and follow her upcoming adventures. If you enjoyed tonight's episode, be sure to like, subscribe, share, and support the Left Lane Chronicles community. Until next time, ride safe, stay blessed, and as always, keep them tubes down. You heard? And before we leave, I want to get these comments before I get out of here because they coming in now. Uh, just don't feel pressure once Jada said just don't feel pressure once you're building your community. They will always be there for you. We all are on a journey. It just feels great to have an outlet to live out loud. Keep it up.
Agreed. Thank you. Thank you, J. Dot.
All right. Thank you for telling us a great interview. Thank you all, and everyone have a good night.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, everybody, for joining.